Wow!
Holy crap.
We're gonna make a 4-layer chocolate cake that's out of this world. Best believe it's homemade from scratch. Let's go. All right, y'all, we just got done tasting this incredible out of this world chocolate cake. Oh man, you guys are gonna love this one. All right, y'all, I'm excited for this one. Today, we're taking all of the best chocolate cake recipes we have ever made and combining all the techniques, ingredients, and tossing in some espresso to hopefully make the best chocolate cake we have ever made. I'm gonna get everything prepped up and ready to roll. Let's go. First thing first, let's go ahead and start with the dry ingredients. First up, flour. Now this is 2 cups of a cake flour. If you're not familiar with the difference between like cake flour, all-purpose flour, the protein amount in the flour is lower, which makes it more ideal for cakes. All right, 2 cups of cake flour. Next up, some granulated sugar, 2 cups. And of course, we got to get some chocolate in there. 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. All right, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. And for our last dry ingredient, a teaspoon of sea salt. Now this recipe will be in the description below, as well as on PlatedAndPours.com. So if you're wanting the recipe, check out the description, check out our .com, it's there. All right, let's go ahead and give this a mix. All right, and all you're doing there is just making sure there's no large clumps and getting everything kind of evenly distributed and well incorporated. Can you sift that part? Sure, if you want to. Is it necessary? I don't find that it is. All right, let's go ahead and add some wet ingredients. Okay, for the wet ingredients, you do want the water to be boiling, so I'm gonna get that going. And while we're waiting for that to come up to a boil, let's go ahead and add the wet ingredients. First up, get a couple large eggs. Next up, some oil. This is a 1/2 cup. And it's just regular vegetable oil. All right, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And one of my favorite, we are using PEET's coffee today. Some espresso. This is 1 tablespoon. And you'll notice we're going to incorporate the espresso throughout the recipe. It's going to be delicious. If you haven't checked out our Does Coffee Belong in a Brownie video, definitely check that video out and you will understand why we are incorporating espresso into our chocolate cake today. All right, let's go ahead and add 1 cup of whole milk. All right, we're gonna go ahead and give this a mix. As soon as it's incorporated, we're gonna start slowly adding our boiling water. 1 cup of water, bottled, of course. All right, let's go ahead and give it a mix. All right, we got this incorporated and we got our boiling water. We're gonna go ahead and slowly incorporate the boiling water into the mixture and then get it transferred over to 2 pans. I do have the pans lined with parchment paper. Do you have to do this? No. Do I recommend that you do this? Yes. All right, let's go ahead and get that boiling water added in. All right, you do want to make sure it is well incorporated. All right, let's go ahead and get it transferred over to the pans. Now, you will notice that this mixture is thinner, and that is A-okay. We're gonna bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 to 35 minutes, kind of depending on your oven. Do the toothpick test and see if the toothpick comes out nice and clean. If it's got wet batter on there, not ready. If it comes out nice and clean, you're ready to roll. All right, let's get this transferred over. All right, you want those as evenly distributed as possible, so that way it bakes at the same time, nice and even. Tell you what, it smells delicious. I can't wait until this is baking and the aroma fills the kitchen. It's out of this world. All right, 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 to 35 minutes. While this bakes, let's go ahead and make some chocolate buttercream. Ooh, buddy, let's go. All right, y'all, I'm excited for this buttercream. Espresso, absolutely. We got a premium quality cocoa powder, premium butter, premium sugar. This is gonna be out of this world. All right, first up, let's add some cocoa powder. All right, y'all, 1 cup. Next up, 1.5 cups of softened butter. All right, go ahead and add the vanilla. 2 teaspoons. And let's go ahead and add the espresso. 1 teaspoon. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of the milk and a little bit of the powdered sugar. In total, we have a 1/2 cup of full milk and 5 cups of powdered sugar. I'm gonna add just a little bit of each, kind of get it rocking and rolling with that butter. And then we're gonna get it on the mixer. Then we're gonna incorporate more sugar and more milk in layers as it mixes. Check it out. All right, now that we got everything started, let's go ahead and get it on the mixer. All right, guys. At this stage, all we're going to do is scrape the sides, make sure everything's well incorporated. At this stage, you can also check for consistency and make sure that it's what I like to call spreadability, is the consistency that you're looking for to be able to frost the cake. All right, and this is looking delicious and smelling delicious. All right, let's give it the final mix. Oh man, this buttercream looks delicious. Oh, all right. Oh yeah. Oh buddy, that is delicious. All right, y'all. It's time to start building our cake. Check out this vanilla spritz we're gonna put together. Oh man, it makes all the difference. Check it out. Let's go. All right, you guys. Now this tip or trick is not one that you have to do. It is one that I like to do because I like for my cake to be super moist and have that nice little hint of vanilla to tie in with that decadent chocolate. This is a step that you can skip. However, if you want your cake and each layer to be super moist and super delicious, then I highly encourage you to take this step. All right, today we're gonna make a vanilla spritz. First up, water. Now I do prefer bottled water. You could use tap water if you want. Distilled water would be great. 1 cup. All right, to the 1 cup of water, we're gonna add some vanilla. 1 tablespoon. All right, go ahead and give it a mix and then give it a taste. Ah, perfect. All right, now just add it to a spray bottle. just like that. Cool. Some people actually make this as a aromatic for their home. I'm gonna make it to spritz the layers of the cake to keep everything nice and moist as we add frosting and more chocolate and all kinds of good stuff. So, all right, we have our vanilla spritz ready to roll. We have our chocolate buttercream ready to roll. Cake is just about cooled off. As soon as it's cooled off and ready to roll, what we're gonna do is layer cake and chocolate, and then we're going to top it off with a chocolate ganache with buttercream around the edges. Oh, it's gonna be delicious. All right, get those cakes cooled off. All right, now one thing I will point out is if you have a little piece like that that breaks, don't worry about it. We can fix that with the buttercream. Once you get it into layers and everything else, nobody's gonna notice. So don't worry about little bits like that. We'll get that fixed. All right, I'm gonna get this one done. These do need a bit longer to cool. As soon as they're ready, we're gonna rock and roll. We'll be right back. All right, y'all, cakes are cooled. It is now time for the most difficult part of building a cake. Now, if you wanna make this easier on yourself, go with one layer as a base layer, put some buttercream in the middle, put the next layer on, more buttercream and be done. Obviously, we're gonna go way beyond that today, mainly because, well, we're on YouTube and we're gonna make the best chocolate cake we possibly can. So, I'm going to show you how to do multiple layers, and we got a few different finishes for this cake that are going to be out of this world. All right, first thing first, we need to get our one layer into two. Check it out. Okay, we now have our 2 layers made into 4 layers of cake. I am starting with the slightly thicker layer on the bottom, and then we're gonna go buttercream, thin layer, buttercream, thin layer, buttercream, thick layer, ganache. Cool. In between each layer, go ahead and spritz with the vanilla spritz. What that's gonna do is keep the cake nice and moist and add a delicious hint of vanilla to tie in with all of our delicious decadent cocoa. All right, show you what that looks like now. Now, if you recall, that piece that had broken off, this piece here, and I said don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because what we're going to do is we're going to add buttercream here. We'll shape the buttercream out to there if we need to. There's going to be buttercream around the edges anyway, and we're going to put some chocolate chips around the outside. Nobody will ever notice. So little things like that, don't worry about it. It's repairable. All right, let's go ahead and spritz. And another layer of buttercream. All right, I'm going to get this done real fast and fast forward to the next step. Check it out. All right, you guys, cake looks outstanding. We're gonna make some chocolate ganache for the top layer, and then we're gonna use the rest of that buttercream on the outside layer with some semi-sweet chocolate chips around the edges. Cool. If you don't have a double broiler, which I can't find mine, so make do with what you got. And all I have here is a pan with some hot water on medium heat, alongside a bowl. And what we're going to do is add 10 ounces of bittersweet chocolate and 1 cup of heavy cream, as well as 1 tablespoon of espresso to make our chocolate ganache. Keep a good eye on it. You don't want to burn the chocolate. And yeah, show you what it looks like when it's ready. All right, you guys, at this consistency here, you still have a few pieces and chunks of chocolate. It is almost there. Keep a really solid eye on it once you hit this point, and what you're looking for is silky smooth. Be right back. All right, you'll notice it is silky smooth. That shine, oh man, good sign it's ready. All right, let's go ahead and get this on our cake. A little vanilla spritz. And this delicious ganache. All right, you guys, with the ganache, you gotta act quick, right? You don't want it to set up before it's done spreading out. So what we're gonna do now is garnish it with a little bit of gold dust. All right, we're gonna let that sit, and then we're gonna hit the outer edge with the buttercream and the chocolate chips. Be right back. All right, you guys, let's finish off the edges with the buttercream. All right, you guys, if you recall, the broken little edges of cake that I told you not to worry about, you will notice that the outside edge is nice and even. We have filled that one void that was there with buttercream. Nobody's ever going to notice the difference. All right, let's hit the outside edges with some semi-sweet chocolate chips. All right, guys, you can see the concept, what we got going on here. I'm gonna get the rest of this finished up. I do have 2 bags of these, which we're probably gonna need. Nonetheless, all right, y'all. I'm gonna get this finished up. Then it's slicing time and it's tasting time. Check it out. This chocolate cake looks out of this world. Cordell, what's your thoughts?
You can already smell it. Like, it smells very rich, dense, and chocolatey.
Yeah, it smells absolutely delicious. Cordell, you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Oh, man. Wow. Dude, that's delicious. Wow. Ooh, buddy. All right, Cordell. Cordell, scale 1 out of 10, this chocolate cake. Where are we at?
10.
Yeah, hands down 10. This cake is out of this world. Man, the different layers of chocolate. Did you pick up the difference between like the ganache and the buttercream?
Yes.
Yeah, and then tied in with that espresso and the cake. It is absolutely delicious. Oh, buddy. All right, well, I tell you what, you guys want to make a chocolate cake, make this chocolate cake. It's out of this world. Till next time, ciao. Dude, that cake is fire.
Holy sorry.
Dude, that is so freaking good. I gotta get another bite, man. Coco, do you want to try the cake?
Yeah.
There you go, buddy. Big bite. 10?